Hi, this is Dana Apple with Dapple Destinations. Welcome to Ensenada, Mexico.
Welcome back to Ensenada.
As we got off the ship, we found a nice spot to film Dana's ending talk-up for all the Disney Wonder videos we were shooting. Unfortunately, some of the local wildlife didn't know anything about being quiet on the set.
If you want to book this trip or any other like it,
God.
I swear they're getting closer.
That's why I looked. I thought he was coming.
Holy hell, look at those guys.
As we passed through the port terminal, we came across a series of these blue buses.
Okay, so we are in Ensenada and we just got off the ship. We're on the pier. Right outside we got a bus ticket. It takes us into town. It's $2 for this little ticket here. It's good for a round trip. $2. Center of town. We're gonna go shopping. Right?
What?
The last time we were in Ensenada, we just spent some time in the nearby downtown area. This time, we decided we wanted to go check out La Bufadora, more commonly known as the Ensenada Blowhole. If you book this excursion through the ship, it currently costs $36 per person. If you take the short bus ride into town and you buy your tickets there, the trip is only $17 each.
What it actually is a Sea Geyser. There's only 3, Hawaii, Australia, and Ensenada. But out of the 3, the one in Ensenada is actually the biggest and it can go the highest from 50 up to 100 feet up in there about every 30 seconds. Alright, well you're here in Ensenada, if you guys get a chance, try the fish tacos, shrimp tacos, and the margaritas. Because believe it or not, those 3 things are from here in Ensenada. All these shuttles you see lined up here, they're all going back to the ship every 10 to 15, no later than 4:30. But whatever you guys decide to do today, enjoy your day in Ensenada, alright?
We bought a pair of the $17 tickets and then headed over to the designated bus to wait for our ride to the blowhole.
You are the first one on the shuttle. We're gonna wait like 15 minutes.
15 minutes,
15, 20, okay?
As we began our trip to La Bufadora, we passed out of the touristy part of town and into the area where the locals live. And as you can see, they have some of the same conveniences that we have. The bus ride leaves Ensenada and travels directly south until it turns west out into a small peninsula. The distance is only 24 miles, but it does take about 45 to 50 minutes to get there.
Once we got to the blowhole area, Dana was in heaven.
With alcohol? With alcohol?
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
It's about a half-mile walk to get down to the blowhole, and that walk takes you past hundreds of flea market-like stands.
Okay, ladies, gotta get the drink. Lady, guys, piña colada, michelado, margarita.
The merchants there were certainly anxious to get you to look at their trinkets, but a smile and a no thank you was all that was needed to get them to move on to the next customer.
I'm very proud of you.
Why?
Walking past all these stores at a relatively decent pace. Hey, drugs.
We also passed a couple of pharmacies with a sign saying no prescription needed, and that's true. If you're staying in Ensenada for a week or two and you need to pick up some quick antibiotics without a doctor's note, you can do so right here. But trying to bring these prescription drugs bought over the counter in another country back into the US is something that the FDA generally frowns upon, something to consider.
Once we finally got down near the actual blowhole, it was time for a bathroom break. So I wandered into a local bathroom and learned a valuable lesson. Here's a tip. It's a good idea to take small change or small bills when you go traveling abroad to another country. Here at Ensenada, I had to pay 75 cents for toilet paper. And the last place I went to was 50 cents just to go into the restroom. So, good tip.
Apparently feeling refreshed, it was time for Dana's favorite pastime, taking selfies with everyone in sight. As a general rule for traveling, street performers love taking pictures and even getting filmed, but don't forget, this is how they make their living. If you're going to take a picture with someone, it's a customary gesture to give him or her a few bucks for the memory that you're going to take home with you. So we finally got to the blowhole, La Bufadora Sea Geyser, which blows up to 100 feet in the air every 30 seconds or so. There are 2 vantage points. I decided on the lower one to the left, which was closer to the action. And just as we got there, we got 2 pretty good blasts right in a row.
There's like another good one coming. That's a good one.
Dana seemed very impressed.
Okay, maybe it was every 30 minutes. I want to go shopping.
Now, most of the spouts were like this one, a little burst, a little spray. If you can, try to be here at high tide because that's when you have the best chance of seeing the big bursts.
Ooh, there it is. But not 100 feet.
One of the excursions you can take is to see the spout from kayaks out in the ocean.
Here comes another good one.
As we backtracked, we passed one of Dana's selfie victims and found out that he was not only someone to take a picture with, but he was playing beautiful songs on his pan flute and selling CDs as well.
About halfway back up through the flea market, we passed a restaurant where we decided to stop in and grab something to eat since we still had about an hour before the bus was heading back to the port. Inside, of all things, was a petting zoo for baby tigers. And another crazy thing was that if you needed to use the restroom, it was located upstairs. You had to take the stairs up to the bathroom if you needed it, but there was an alternative way to get back down.
Now, I didn't have to use the bathroom, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let a perfectly good slide inside a restaurant go to waste.
We jumped on our bus and got back to the port around 3 o'clock. But while we're still on the subject of Ensenada, here is some bonus footage from our previous trip.
Downtown Ensenada basically has two things: shops and restaurant bars with tourists in mind. Please know that while you're shopping, there are no set prices. If you ask a merchant how much a certain item is, he'll say $10, for example. You then offer him $3. His eyes will bug out at the audacity of your offer, but he'll probably counteroffer with $7. You then offer him $5, and the two of you will meet in the middle at $6, each of you walking away thinking you got the better part of the deal.
Dana, he wants to be in the picture. That guy was funny when she bought the hat. When we walked by, he said, free tequila shots and fake IDs.
One of the most popular spots in town, certainly one of the most crowded, is the legendary Papas and Beer. The bartenders walk around and take money from paying victims. They then take these customers and pour some kind of mixed drink in their mouth. They grab the patron's head and shake it back and forth. And if that wasn't enough, they pick up the whole person and shake them upside down to fully mix the cocktail. I was impressed to see that it wasn't just the girls that were getting these shots. One pretty big gentleman decided that he wanted a shot, but he got an extra step added before his shake routine. And I give the bartender guy credit. He actually got this guy off his feet enough to give him a mild shake. I have a feeling the guy probably swallowed the whole drink while he was having his underwear pulled out anyway. And that's our brief tour of Ensenada. If you find that the clubs might be a little too rowdy for your taste, then you still have the entire town full of shops where you can find the perfect souvenir.
If you want to book this trip or anything like it, call Dapple Destinations at the number on your screen. If you have any questions, please enter them in the comment section below. And as always, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.